Turn around. Turn the fuck around.
What's going on? What the fuck?
Oh man, you even took possession of the backpack. You stupid.
I'm Adam Rossen with the Rossen Law Firm, and in today's case result video, we're going to show you our client Chris, who was falsely arrested for drug possession by Broward Sheriff's Office. The case was dismissed, and we're going to show you the body camera, we're going to show you the police reports, and we want to hear your thoughts. I'm a big believer in if you're going to lie about one thing, you're going to lie about everything. And in this particular case, the cops lied about violating Chris's Miranda rights. This is Broward Sheriff's Office, BSO. Now, what happened was the police were tailing this car for some reason. It was in Dania Beach. I guess they think he picked up a prostitute. Okay, fine. So they're tailing him. They're in this like police officer paddy wagon, like 3 or 4 of them, look like they're doing some kind of operation, sting operation. And they pull our client's car over.
Just a random
Where did
ride?
you just come from right now?
From Lowe's on Oakland and 95.
And where else did you go? You haven't stopped anywhere
No, I
else?
was driving around with her.
So where did you just last go?
Whatever streets fucking
Why'd you go there?
driving down. She was looking for something.
For something.
Get out of the car.
Let's go. Step out.
Step out of the car.
And they get out, and right away, they're aggressive, they're questioning him. Well, that's a violation of Miranda rights. What are Miranda rights? Miranda rights are you have the right to remain silent, you have the right to an attorney, right? You know, you don't have to speak to me, okay? All of those things. And they have to tell somebody that under 2 circumstances. 1, custodial, 2, interrogation, custodial interrogation. The first part is custodial. Custody, meaning they're not free to leave. Well, our client Chris could not have said, hey officers, you know what, have a nice day, no thank you, I'm going to keep driving. So of course he was in their custody. You don't need to have the handcuffs on to be in a police officer's custody. Second thing was interrogation, and it's not always the interrogation that we think of 1980s, detective movies where somebody's chain smoking cigarettes and they're under a heat lamp, right? It's not always that. Most of the time, really what it is any question that is likely to lead to an incriminating response counts as interrogation. So it doesn't always have to be a question. It could be any statement. So it could be, hey, sure smells like weed in here, right? Not a question. That was a statement, but that's a statement that is likely to lead to an incriminating response. So that counts as an interrogation. So specifically with this case, they start grilling him right away. What are you doing? Where are you going? What's in the bag? Where are the drugs, right? You're lying to me. You're lying to me. Get out of the car. And just screaming and yelling at him.
Get out of the goddamn car.
Yeah, Jesus. Go stand over there with my partner over there.
Sure. Pull your gun on me.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know what you're doing and you're refusing to get out of the vehicle. Who knows what's in the vehicle? Sit your ass on the bumper. Sit on the bumper.
Well, you can't do that. Right? There has to be some kind of evidence in order to search a car. And right off the bat, they're just screaming and yelling at him and questioning him without reading him his Miranda rights.
Am I going to find any crack in there? Am I going to get hurt?
Within the first 2 minutes, there's multiple Miranda violations in this video.
What's inside those bags in the center console?
All my work stuff, Lowe's stuff.
The bag's in the center console.
Now, as the video goes on, you hear the cops basically talking about, well, oh, I saw furtive movements.
The furtive movements he was making was towards that area there. I don't know if it's that bag in the back or where that plastic bag is.
Well, what does furtive movements mean? It means that they say that they saw him trying to stash something, hide something. What they're going at is he was hiding the drugs. He was stashing the drugs, right? Usually drugs, contraband, guns, weapons. Well, how do we know? So it's about 5 minutes into the video till they talk about furtive movements and plain sight. Now, if they do see furtive movements and plain sight, well, then they're legally allowed to search the car. But guess what? Police officers have been lying about probable cause to search cars since the beginning of time. And we usually don't see police officers plant evidence. It happens in a very rare circumstances, very rare percentage of cases. But what we do see quite often is police officers lying about probable cause to search the car. I smelled drugs. I saw drugs in plain sight. I saw drug paraphernalia. I saw furtive movements. Client was sweating uncontrollably and nervous, and for their safety, I had to get them out of the car and search. That's what they say. That's what they lie about. So question on this, right? Why did it take 5 or 6 minutes for them to really say anything? They didn't say anything about that in the beginning of the body cameras. What do? They just start yelling at him and violating his Miranda rights. And again, if you're going to violate somebody's Miranda rights, if you're going to lie about one thing, you're going to lie about everything. Nothing that person says can be truthful or credible in a court of law. And you also see the tone in this video.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, man, you even took possession of the backpack. You stupid?
They're mocking him. They're laughing at him. They're making fun of him.
Tell me what it is. 3, 2, 1. You fail FTL.
They're certainly not treating him with respect.
Don't be rough on me. I did not stuff
I'm not
anything.
being rough on you.
Stop yelling, man. Nobody
You
gives
took
a shit.
possession.
Stop yelling.
Our client is very nice. He's nice, he's pleasant, and a lot of other people would have argued back, fought back, yelled, been disrespectful. Our client was not that way at all. So kudos to him, because he took a very bad experience in stride, in a much better way would have. When we go ahead and we move into reading the police reports on this case, well, there's not a lot of information, and I think that's deliberate by the officer in this case. There's no mention in this report of the other girl. They never even questioned the other girl. They never even arrested her. So think about this.
Let her get the fuck out.
Yeah, she can get the fuck out of here.
1 second.
Grab your cigarettes, grab
Hold
your
up a
fucking...
second, honey.
Right? They have drugs in a jointly occupied vehicle. They don't even question the girl. They don't even arrest her. Why was it that they were targeting my client, Chris? To me, it seems pretty poor police work. They just locked onto one theory and went all the way in on that one theory. But as we go back to the reports, no mention of the girl at all. And it talks about the furtive movements. It talks about the plain sight, the key legal buzzwords that they need in order to make this, a valid search. There's really nothing mentioning Miranda rights. There's nothing mentioning the questioning, except he said, oh, it was my backpack. Okay, well, he said that in direct response to you violating his Miranda rights, right? You should have put that in there, officer, but of course you didn't. And then at the end, the funny thing that I saw with this case was they talk about it being a valid, proper stop. Well, why you got to talk about that being a proper stop and valid if you're worried about violating somebody's rights, right? To me, it doesn't make sense. It's not something that we see quite often. So what did we do on this case? Well, our client came to us, and from day one, he said, Adam, not my drugs. I'm innocent. The police harassed me. They were so rude and mean, and I swear, not my drugs. Well, what do we know that the police didn't do? They didn't test for DNA. They didn't test for fingerprints. And so really it was a he said, she said. Now, most people think, well, the judge is always going to believe the police. No, not true. When you have good lawyers that have great reputations and do the work, we can expose the lies. So we took the deposition of all the officers involved. We did a really good job in the deposition. We caught them in a lot of mistakes, lies, errors, and then we filed a motion to suppress on this case, a motion to suppress evidence saying that the police violated our client's Miranda rights. As we're walking into the courtroom to argue this motion to suppress, the prosecutor came over to us and said, I'm dismissing all the charges. Reduced from a felony to a misdemeanor, no better deal. I agree with you. What the police did was wrong, pure dismissal. So that's what we got. Great result for our client. Unfortunately, in Florida, it's very hard to sue. Our client did not want to sue the police. We get a lot of questions about that. Personally, we wanted to, but we have to respect our client's wishes, and there's a lot more involved. Clients are oftentimes afraid of harassment from police if they sue. But regardless, it was a fantastic result. Of course, we know the client never should have been in this position at all to begin with, but we can only do our part. So would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. If you have any questions about any type of criminal case at all, give us a call, 754-206-6200.